Dr. Khan, Robin and I, we wanted to ask you a question, didn't we, Robin? Can machines like that ventilator only work in hospitals?
Well, it's just a machine, you know. You plug it in and it goes. Why do you ask?
Robin's going to leave the hospital.
The film was put together, financed, and everything was sorted within 6 weeks. So I don't know how they did it. Not for a period film, not for a film that requires aging of the actors, so much equipment, so much medical equipment and things to get right, and nothing. It was meant to happen, I feel like, and they somehow did it. So within that 6 weeks, Andrew obviously had the most amount of work, and he did so much work. He prepared for it more than you could possibly imagine. And in a weird way, that helped me because he would often email me with things and conversations that he had. I didn't feel like it was massively important for me to go and meet people who were on a respirator, or it was important for me to meet Diana, who pretty much is the expert in caring for someone who is on a respirator, and it was very important for me to get the technical aspects of caring for someone like that right, how you clean the lungs, how you winch them out of bed, how you bathe them, especially later in the film where Robin ends up having quite a lot of bleeds. All those sorts of things were very important for me, but from her perspective as opposed to polio as a whole.
Andrew has to be so still, and he's a physical actor. We've seen him be quite physical in his roles before. And here he can't move anything but his head, or his eyes, his mouth, etc. And there's so much movement going around him. What kind of challenge does that present for you as an actress?
Well, I mean, he is my performance. I genuinely turned up every day and just looked at him and became very aware of how he was feeling. And I did put myself in the position of taking care of him because he had to. I didn't realise at the time. At the time, I was a bit like, oh, Andrew's, being method and he's not going to move. And then I was like, then very late on, we did 3 weeks in South Africa. And I mean, this is pathetic that this is the first time I did it. It was like a week before we finished shooting. I was like, can I sit in the chair? And he was like, yeah, sure. As I sat in it. And I tried to not move for a minute. And he's very physical anyway. He's a very expressive person. And I just have nothing but admiration for him because he only did that because he had to. He had to do it. There was no way he could have done that and not entirely surrendered his body to it.
And so, talking about Diana, how did you work with her in terms of the experience that she really had?
I'd ask her about just how they spent their day, and they'd wake up and they'd have. I just sort of knew they'd have breakfast together, and they'd sit and she'd eat and she'd feed him, and they'd sit and chat, and their life was together, and they just spent, it was just beautiful. And through her, I've got to know Robin, and so did Andrew. And that's amazing for someone who's no longer here to he lives on, and, he lives on in Jonathan. And it's just, I feel very lucky to know them. They're an incredible family, incredible, inspiring family, really are. I learn so much from them about decision-making and just going, why not do it? Right. Why not take the risk? Why not move to that country? Why not go there and try and do it? What's stopping you, for heaven's sake? But also just about that they just have this incredible gift of just living every single moment.